Hey there, comic book fans. Back from another Wednesday trip to the comic shop this week. Not my normal Thursday because of, Christmas Eve and everything tomorrow. Slow week at the comic shop for me. Only 3 comics, which is good after the ton of comics I got last week. Um, and also, there was 2 of my comics from last week, Invincible and one other, I can't remember which is the other one, aren't back until April. So, this is why those all of a sudden, if you're buying a lot of these Image comics, you can have a lot of comics one week and then none for a little while because they're on hiatus. But very good issue of Invincible either way. But it'll still be on my pull list in April. But anyway, here is Deadly Class number 17. Deadly Class continues to be an excellent book. I think we're ending the final story arc where some of our main heroes of this story are, gonna get in bloody trouble. As other people in their class are trying to kill them. I guess that's why they're the Deadly Class. But I've liked this one since the beginning. It's an excellent comic. And you should be reading it. And here comes Saga, issue 32. Y'all know what Saga is, so I don't have to explain it too much. This is back after a hiatus. There's a cool-looking guy. Hard to believe, 32 issues of this. I kind of count Saga as the beginning of this sort of Image renaissance, even though there were some books out before it. I think Fatale came out before it, and there's a couple of others, because right around when Saga first started coming out is when I was actively looking for new monthly comics to buy. I had been buying trades and collected editions for a few years, just because there weren't, I still had my old steady ones, like Usagi Yojimbo that I always bought, and maybe a few others, but I was buying 2, 3 comics a week, maybe. It was just before the New 52 hit, too. I remember sampling some of the old pre-New 52 DCs and found a couple of my Teen Titans pre-New 52 was a pretty good one. But then Saga came out, and I've been buying tons of Image ever since. And this is the one that started it all, even if its logo is just a boring piece of type. Saga actually isn't even one of my favorite of the Image books, but it's a solid one, so I'm going to stick with it. And the last of this week's books is Outcast, issue number 14. Get behind me, Satan. This has been another solid book. Enjoyed it. Paul Azacetta's, and the only thing I don't like about this one is these weird little inset panels he does. And I'm told those are Robert Kirkman's ideas, not Paul Azacetta's, which I find odd. These weird little... I just find they break the storytelling flow in a way I don't like. But anyway, other than that quibble, it's an excellent book. I'm enjoying it. Some of the monsters are making themselves known now, and the good guys are trying to figure out stuff. After 14 issues, they should have figured out some stuff, and they figured out a little. But another Kirkman one that's getting turned into a TV show, too. So check out Outcast. It's a good one. Here's an interesting little thing that I wanted to show you in that you really don't have to read this. I'll tell you what it is. I was watching the Chad's Attic Show YouTube channel, and Chad, at least I figure that's got to be his name. He's got an attic named after him that he sits in. Was showing a little bit of the catalog program he was using and showing what percentage of publishers he owned. And I actually use a little catalog program that I made it's a FileMaker Pro program that I made 10, 15 years ago, just a little data file. So I can mostly, not even so I know what I have, but I know where to find it. I've got location, what shelf or box it's in or something. So if I need to find an issue, I can actually do it. But I also just, as I was making the little database program, put down what publishers are. So I thought it'd be interesting to see who I owned the most what comics I own the most publishers from. Turns out it's other. My overall collection's got 10,500 comics in it. That doesn't count. I probably have that many again of like collected editions, which I need to find a program to catalog my collected editions. I used to have one. I think it was called Books or something simple like that, where you could scan the ISBN number. But then when they stopped making it, and it's no longer supported, and I was like, oh great, there was no reason. Good thing I only cataloged things as I got them, little by little, and I didn't have my whole collection cataloged in that. Now I'm glad I don't. But if anyone knows a good book cataloging program, let me know. But the publisher I still have the most from, 2,705, is Marvel. DC, I've got 1,195, and those really represent my collecting between the ages of, I'd say, 10 and 20, maybe a little older, because that's mostly what I was buying. You know, that's when I got that bulk of that stuff, and I've gotten rid of some of it over the year, but I still have, you know, those 2,700 and 1,200 books. And then Image, I have 1,714 of, and that's probably mainly in the last 10, 15 years I've gotten those. Dark Horse, I've got 1,096, and if you add all those up, you get 6,710, which means there's 3,800. So my biggest publisher is really Other. Now I've got like 383 Eclipse, 287 CrossGen, First 350, Wildstorm 231, Kamiko 130, Fantagraphics 124, Pacific 167, and those are just the big ones of the. I mean, subtract those from that 3,800, and I've just got a lot of comics from a lot of little publishers that I don't even. Who even knows what publishers they are, because they don't even. These are just the ones I could think of big enough to show up as any kind of big number. But I thought that was interesting, just looking at the breakdown of what comics I have for what publishers. Thought I'd share that with you. Hope you enjoyed a little aside. And finally, we will show you. These are my. Let's see, my background art. These are just drawings that from my Message Tee strip that I run on my Radiant Comics site on Saturdays. Kind of like that. These are my earliest ones, 7/19/11, where I was just drawing interesting figures, and I'd put messages on their shirt, hence the name of the strip, Message Tee. There's a guy who looks vaguely like an army guy, construction worker, village person. But these are the earliest ones I did. The style of drawing them kind of changed over the years, just because I was, just drawing some weird little figures, and then drew some different weird little figures. I don't know who would wear a hairpiece over one eye, but she sure does. Well, these are very kind of black and white graphic op-arty sort of things with their designs. But there are the comics I got this week, and there's a little bit of artwork. All you out there have a good Christmas and all that. And we'll catch you next week.